Joey Villanueva.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Danny. And so that we can start right away our meeting, I officially call this meeting to order. Before we're going to call our secretary to read the minutes of meeting, allow me first to welcome our guests tonight. Julius Martinez, thank you very much for joining us in our meeting tonight. And of course, not yet officially, but later on, we will also be welcoming Maui as our new member. And of course, the newly accepted member of our club, our champion, Toastmaster Ryan Cortez. To all of you, good evening. Tonight, as we celebrate another Toastmasters meeting, we wanted to express not only our thanks, but also our reverence to everybody. And of course, all the abundance, the freedom, because we just celebrated our Independence Day last June 11. So it is fitting that in this particular meeting, we're going to again celebrate and remind ourselves of how we as individual Filipinos, even though we are very far from the Philippines, we can still feel the freedom that we have, because if not, we could not be getting out of our country, bringing our passport, and be proud as Filipinos. And as we journey outside the Philippines, we also experience not only the joy of being outside the Philippines and see the world, but also it is a blessing that we give this abundance, that these blessings to our family and also back to the Philippines. So as we celebrate, we will always be reminded of that, and let us make this meeting very successful. Now, in order to go on with our agenda, I now call our secretary to read the minutes of our meeting.
The President and fellow Toastmasters, good evening. The President, I already distributed the minutes of meeting yesterday to all of our members. So I will no longer read it, and I place it now on the table.
Thank you very much, Madam Secretary. The Secretary has already distributed the minutes of our meeting through our email and requested, if you don't have any objection, that we will not anymore read the minutes of meeting. And there being no objection, so we will not anymore read the minutes of meeting. Now, as distributed, is there any changes or you wanted to add in that particular minutes of meeting? There being none, then I officially approve and adopt the minutes of meeting as distributed by our secretary through our email. Now, is there any specific subject that you wanted to discuss before we're going to continue with our meeting tonight? I believe I will just announce some accomplishment that we have later on. But for now, I think it is much better that we're going to go through our experience of listening to our speakers tonight. Are we ready? Now, in order for us to experience the joy of listening to our speakers, the joy of participating in our meeting, the joy of additional learning, then it is necessary that we are going to name the person that will bring us to that successful meeting tonight. The person is a certified public accountant by profession, a finance manager of Saudi Total Petroleum Products products what's that distribution products company, and as far as I know is a very close friend, our compare, and also one of the distinguished, not only because of his achievement, but also being the district evaluation champion of District 104. And tonight is going to lead us into this freedom and abundance theme meeting. Let us welcome our Toastmaster tonight, Toastmaster Ben Consolacion.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, and our incoming District Director, Distinguished Toastmaster, Joey Villanueva. To my fellow Toastmasters and guests, Salam Alaikum and good evening.
Good evening.
Happy Independence to all of us. Today, we celebrate the Independence Day of the Philippines. But I want to be more specific on our theme today, in which about freedom and abundance. I want to share to you the impact of having independent life, an independent country, an independent individual truly will achieve the true meaning of freedom and abundance. Thank you to all our heroes for giving us this life and giving us to live freely and abundantly. As today, the quotation is abundance is not more things, but more space, more light, more freedom. So when an opportunity flows into your life, you can actually seize it. To be wealthy means that you have achieved great quantity of money or possession. As what said, wealth is an end state. But on the other hand, abundance is an energy you step into. As defined in Webster, abundance as generating an ample quantity. The key word is ample, which means generously sufficient. I think of abundance as a process of both creating and receiving more. In order to harness abundance, we have to give up the old ways of being, particularly our own egoic need to try to force an outcome. I would like to share tonight two things. First is to differentiate meaning and money. I learned in order to create an abundant life, I have to give up the quest of money and instead seek meaning. By focusing on what matters and what I'm passionate about, money will flow easily. As said, your passion turns into profit. When I look meaningful work, it means I enjoy the work in the process of attracting more money. This is why the passion comes on. To tap into abundance, we must be passionate about our work. We should be passionate because having passion fuels abundance. Second, I want to differentiate between the freedom versus control. The second key to abundance is understanding the difference between these two, which is freedom and abundance, freedom and control. The ego wants to control, so the situations, others, and outcome. But having more control life is not good, because the truth is, if you have freedom, you can do a lot of things. We really want to have freedom in our time and freedom just to be. As what we are doing in Toastmaster, we have the freedom to speak. We have the freedom to share. We have the freedom to listen. And for tonight's meeting, we will be listening. We will be listening to the inspired speeches of different people as they will be sharing tonight. Without any further ado, we'd like to start with the first part, But to all the role players and the speaker, before you will explain your roles or deliver your speech, kindly answer the questions as I message you in our Facebook group account. How to live an abundant life. Once again, I would like to repeat, before you answer or explain your role, kindly share an answer to this question, how to live an abundant life. To start with, tonight we have a joke master. To share his jokes tonight, may I call upon Toastmaster Alimuddin Kamama. Don't have sounds?
Please unmute TM Alimuddin. You are on mute. There you are.
Okay na. So thank you so much, Toastmaster of the night. So tonight I am the one assigned for the joke master of the night. I hope that you enjoy and a little bit laugh on my preparations. Back to you, Toastmaster.
What is your joke, Toastmaster Ali?
No?
What is your joke? We are already laughing, so I think your joke is already done.
That's his joke.
No. Okay, since we are in English language today, I will ask some of you some Tagalog words to translate it in English. So may I call on Mr. Toastmaster Glenn Sibag to please, if you can translate this Tagalog words to English.
Okay.
What is your translation to kilig?
Kilig?
Kilig. My translation of kilig is you put more emphasis on, how do you say that? The kilig.
The last part of urinating, huh?
Like after you urinate, you are already in kilig.
Actually, that is explanation. It's not a kilig. So there is no specific meaning or translation into kilig in English. So may I call on the next DTM Angelito Nacion?
Uy, di pa ako DTM.
You are with me? Can you please translate this Tagalog sentence into English? Ano ka ngayon?
What are you?
Ano ka ngayon?
What are you now? Ano ka ngayon or sino ka ngayon?
Ano ka ngayon?
What are you now?
Who you?
Ano ba?
Who you?
When you say ano means when you translate it comes to what. So ka ngayon.
So what? Yung ano ka ngayon, parang yung gano'n, yung biglaan.
Yes, that's.
So what?
What do you know?
Actually, there is no specific translations for that Tagalog words into English. So may I call on distinguished Toastmaster Sam Asim. Are you with me?
Yes, hello. Yes, Toastmaster Unified Hyper TV Nipadali. Yes.
Yes. My question to you, can you translate to us what is mean by this Tagalog into English, alimpungatan.
Alimpungatan.
Naalimpungatan. I'm also thinking of that word, alimpungatan. What is that? Alimpungatan. Like,
I was like that last night because I thought that last night it was the meeting.
alimpungatan.
Ali.
Lady, huh?
Alimpungatan. No, it's quite, I couldn't think of anything. Alimpungatan, alimpungatan. Mistakenly.
I woke up.
Ano daw?
Okay, thank you so much, Toastmaster Sam Asim.
You're welcome.
You know,
May I call on our distinguished Toastmaster, Joey Villanueva?
Oh,
Are you
yes,
with
yes.
me?
Go ahead, go ahead.
will be the last, I think.
Yes, that is the
Well,
last. This is the
last.
last, huh? Okay. Can you translate us this Tagalog word into English? Baduy. Baduy.
It's Ali. That's the translation.
Okay, I will just give you the meaning of that all words that I gave to you. So
Okay.
the meaning of kilig, it is a verb for something that you feel when you have butterflies in your stomach. And sometimes it's displayed when you are touched by a lover's effort or when you're in love. That is meaning of kilig. And alimpungatan, perhaps it is something ingrained within the Filipino culture, but alimpungatan, which is a state when you are awakened moments before you enter a deep slumber, often happens every time we are awakened from our afternoon siestas. And baduy means when you were mismatching clothes or just seem out of fashion.
Out
In
of
the
fashion.
Philippines, you are baduy. Filipino are always in for the top trends, especially in fashion. So if you go out there without wearing the trendiest clothes, you are baduy. So back to you, Toastmaster of the night.
Galing. Yes.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Ali. Truly, I'm wearing a good clothes. I'm not a baduy. Are you ready, Toastmaster? Okay. Tonight, we'll be experiencing another exciting Toastmasters meeting. As I said, the theme for today is about freedom and abundance. To start with, and to answer the question, how to live an abundant life and to explain her role, let's call first the accounter, Toastmaster Maui Garcia.
Hello everyone, good evening. Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Night, Mr. Ben Consolacion, for giving me time to express my feelings regarding freedom and how to live abundantly in this world. For me, freedom is very important because this is the thing that I could do anything that I want, which is not against to anybody. And to live abundantly, it's living with the fear of God, to love my family, to have my family with me. Not exactly having a lot of money, but just enough to expense my necessary needs every day, especially the food that I needed every day. Being with good and true friends, and having a good working conditions, especially now during this time of pandemic. And that's it. Thank you so much. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Night, Mr. Ben Consolacion.
Explain your role, please, as accounter.
As a counter, this is my role. Taking this role is improves of observational and listening skills The purpose of the counter is to note any overused words or filler sounds used as a crutch by anyone who speaks during the meeting. Words may be inappropriate injections such as and, well, but so as and you know, sounds may be an um, or As a counter, my responsibility at the end of the meeting, I will declare the person of the evening who have used the most filler words. And that's it. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Night, Mr. Ben Consolacion.
Thank you, Toastmaster Maui Garcia. To explain her role as grammarian and to answer the question, let's call upon distinguished Toastmaster Maria Teresa Villanueva.
Aga na matutulog, sir?
Toastmaster of the night, fellow Toastmasters, and our distinguished guests, good evening. For me to live an abundant life means being worry-free, free from problems, free from material longings, and of course, having a solid and lovely family that surround you, with, of course, with the guidance of God. Now, my role for tonight as your grammarian has two responsibilities. First is to introduce the word of the night, and secondly, to monitor language and grammar usage. Our word for tonight is amiable. Amiable meaning having or displaying a friendly and pleasant manner. I repeat, our word for tonight is amiable. Example, the amiable young man greeted me enthusiastically. Every Toastmaster delivers his or her speech in an amiable manner. Before the end of this meeting, I will give my honest opinion on how we use our grammar for tonight's meeting. Mr. Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Maria Teresa Villanueva. And to proceed with and to explain his role as timer and to answer the question, let's call upon distinguished Toastmaster Glenn Sibag.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you very much, Toastmaster of the evening, Toastmaster Ben Consolacion. To live an abundance life is free of worries, and of course, with the families with me, even if we are far from each other, but we have connection with the current situations that we have, and also with the colleagues where I work with friends, and the families that I have here in Saudi Arabia, my Toastmaster families and my families in Christ, which is being guided by our God. And to explain my role as timer for this evening, upon hearing the amiable speeches of our speakers for this evening, our first and third speaker is given 5 to 7 minutes. At 5 minutes, the green color will be shown, and at 6 minutes, the yellow color will be shown, and at 7 minutes, the red color will be shown, and the speakers were given or are given 30 seconds to wrap up their speeches before they could finalize all their speeches. Now for our second speaker, which is an evaluator, she will be given 2 to 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, the green color will be shown. At 2.5 minutes, the yellow color will be shown. And at 3 minutes, the red color will be shown, and she will be given also 30 seconds to wrap up her speech. For our table topics portion, the speakers will be given 1 to 2 minutes. At 1 minute, the green color will be shown. At 1.5 minutes, the yellow color will be shown. And at 2 minutes, the red color will be shown. And all the speakers will be given also 30 seconds to wrap up their speeches. And for our evaluators, they will be given 2 to 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, the green color will be shown. At 2.5 minutes, the yellow color will be shown. And at 3 minutes, the red color will be shown, and they will be given also 30 seconds to wrap up their speeches. Mr. Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you very much, Mr. Timer. And to proceed with, I will be calling our next Toastmaster to explain her role as General Evaluator and to answer the question. Let's call upon Toastmaster Joanna de la Peña Nilong.
You have no sound, sister.
You're unmute,
You're unmute.
Joanna.
Okay. Good evening, Mr. Toastmaster of the night, fellow Toastmaster and their guests, good evening. For me to live an abundant of life, start your day with a smile. Be thankful that you have another day of life. Be thankful for what you have. You'll end up having more. And if you are concentrate of what you have, you will never ever have enough. And to explain my role as a junior evaluator tonight, we have what you call this one? We have the for the benefits of our guests. My role is divided into the three parts. One is to introduce the evaluators for the paper speech. Two is to call upon the tag team or the timer, the encounter, the grammarian for their respective report. And finally, I shall give my general evaluation of all over the meeting. Back to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
Okay. Thank you to our Madam General Evaluator for explaining your role. Let's proceed with the evaluators to explain their role and to introduce and to answer the question. Let's call upon our first evaluator to evaluate our first speaker. Let's call upon Toastmaster Danilo Abenes.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Ben. How to live an abundant life. First, I'll thank to God for every breath He gave to me. Second, be grateful for what I have. Start my days with smile and full of opportunities. And have a positive attitude. Build friendships along the way. Make the most on every opportunity. That's how I live an abundant life. To explain also my role for tonight, I am the evaluator of distinguished Toastmaster Joey Villanueva on negotiation experience. For the purpose statement, the purpose of this project is for the member to learn about different types of negotiation and the strategies that can be used when negotiating. Number two, the purpose of this speech is for the member to share some aspect, a part of future negotiation in his or her life. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you to our first evaluator, Toastmaster Danilo Abenes. And I will be calling the second evaluator to evaluate our second speaker to answer the question and to explain his role. Let's call upon Toastmaster Sam Asim.
Yes. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. I am your Toastmaster Sam Asim, and today I will be evaluating to the speech of Toastmaster Julius Martinez. Now to the questions, how...
Toastmaster Jasmine, sorry. You will be evaluating Toastmaster Jasmine.
Of course, Toastmaster Jasmine, sorry for that. Now for me, what is the meaning of abundance? For me, the meaning of abundance is spending what you have, but wisely and with practicality. So I always associate the word abundance as a word something to do with productivity. So if you have something, spend it wisely. and don't waste it on something that you will not take advantage or you will not benefit of, so that we are living in a practical world today. Whatever resources that we have, we must have to spend it wisely. Okay, thank you for that, and back to you, Toastmaster.
Okay. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Asim, for accepting the role, the last minute acceptance. Thank you very much. I'll be calling the third evaluator to explain his role. Let's call upon Toastmaster Angelito Nacion.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ben. How to live an abundant life. I think they said it already. Be grateful, be thankful, feel free from worries. Appreciate the fact that you have a good family, good health, and faith. I just would like to add that in order to be grateful or to be abundant in life, we have to accept the idea that we are not perfect. As they say, to err is human. And always have a positive outlook in life, because if you're always upset about the things that you screwed up, tendency is you forget to appreciate what you have right now. And that's all. I think constantly appreciating the things that you have in life. Over to you. And of course, for Toastmaster Ali, the purpose of your speech is you have to focus on two. One is to identify your primary leadership styles. And second is to share some aspect of your primary leadership style and discuss leadership styles in general. Over to you, Mr. Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Angelito. Are you ready?
Yes.
But before I proceed, I'd like to acknowledge our guest, Mr. Julius. Good evening, Mr. Julius. Thank you for coming and joining us. I'm seeing also here distinguished Toastmaster Asjad Ansari. Welcome to KaMFi Toastmasters meeting. Fellow Toastmasters, are you ready to listen to our amiable speakers for tonight? Thumbs up, please. Okay. Let's start the ball rolling. Let's call upon our first speaker. Our first speaker is distinguished Toastmaster Joey Villanueva. And his speech title, sorry, I forgot the speech title. Sorry. Wait for a while. With speech title.
Winner takes all. Winner takes all.
Winner takes all. Winner takes all, distinguished Toastmaster Joey Villanueva.
Thank you very much, our amiable Toastmasters tonight. Toastmaster Ben. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, have you entered into a negotiation? For me, I hate negotiation. Why? Because in negotiation, I always see people that are winning and others are losing. And I don't want that. Without realizing that proper negotiations will always create win-win situation. And it is only then that I realize that in every turn, in every side of our lives, there will always be negotiations. But tonight, this negotiation experience that I have is something that I wanted always to remember. At 7 months pregnant, my wife, the distinguished Toastmaster Tess, were decided by the hospital through its policy to be terminated because we were then having a single contract in King Fahd Hospital, Al-Baha. It is the hospital's policy that all the single contract employees will have to deliver in the Philippines or back home. So 7 months pregnant, she has to travel back to the Philippines. Our hope is that after delivery, she will be joining me back again. But there are different stories that we could not expect. Our contract then were not renewed. And so we have to leave the hospitals, and I will be recalled to our office in Jeddah. It is not simple because it took us about 3 years in order to finish everything in Al-Baha before I joined here, our office in Jeddah. By then, our eldest is already 3 years old, Dr. Rezo. And I have already my second son. I wanted them to join me in Jeddah. So my always wish and my prayers is that I will be given an opportunity to bring them in here in Jeddah. The time, I was only paid about $1,000 as an accountant here in Jeddah, and with single contracts, so I could not bring them back. I asked for guidance and prayed that one day I will be given an opportunity to move to another company. And this time, my prayer were heard. After the interview, I was asked to work part-time in order for them to assess if I could be given that accountant's role in another company. But of course, after asking me what is the reason why I wanted to change job or change company, I said, well, I wanted to bring my family with me. So the offer should be at least a family status contract. Well, the company is going to pay for the tickets of my family and all other expenses. No words about the salary. In that particular negotiations, since I am in the seems to be losing side, whatever the offer, it seems that it is good for me to accept if they can give me the opportunity to bring my family back here in Jeddah. But you know, during this time, it's very hard to transfer from one company to the other because it is difficult to get the NOC or the no objection to transfer to other company. It was a negotiation different from the negotiation that I'm expected because I have to bring everybody in order to be my sponsor in asking the company to release me. This has been the experience I have for almost 3 months. And the other thing is that, yes, it seems that I will be winning, but still I am in the losing side. The last time our company said, no need for you to transfer. If you want, you will bring your family here. But then I said, it will be good. I will not anymore transfer, and then I can bring my family. So I went back to the negotiation with the other company and said, well, sir, I really wanted to transfer, but I think our company is going to give me another chance. So they said, okay, was that if you wanted, what are other things that you want? So in my mind, better, I will give them something, some demand that these people will not, and then I will just walk out of the negotiation. You know, in negotiation, there will be win-win when everybody takes what they wanted. Other times, we have to compromise. And me, no compromise at that time because I just wanted my family to be with me. So it's like they compromise and I'm just waiting. But this time, it is different. I wanted to walk out of the negotiations. So I have to give them something that they may not accept. So I told them, well, sir, was that if you wanted me, then you double my salary and all other expenses related to family. And it's not only about the tickets, it will be housing also, and then it will be transportation, it will be school fees for my children. I thought by that time, they will not accept it, and I can just back out of the negotiation. But you know what happened? After 1 month, I was informed that all I demanded will all be accepted, and they wanted me 2 weeks notice to be transferred. It is a problem in my side because again, I have to go back to my other company to negotiate that I will be allowed, because I was very much afraid that instead of giving me an opportunity to transfer, they will send me home. You know, the companies here in Saudi Arabia. But thanks, because of the abundance of the prayers, because at that moment, I don't know what happened, but while all other employees were not allowed to transfer, I was given an opportunity to transfer. And alas, I got what I wanted, more than I wanted, because at that time I give them a negotiation that is something that I can just walk out. But it went through. It's like a blessing and abundance that I did not expect, but was given because God is really very good. Fellow Toastmasters, that was the beginning of so many things that happened to me in that company. It is the blessings that I received for almost 25 years, year after year, until such time that all my children's, I raised here them all in Jeddah. No complaint. Everything thanksgiving. Everything full of abundance. Everything I can only say thank you. Fellow Toastmasters, this is the negotiation that in the beginning I thought I could not win. But in the end, I am the winner and I take it all. Fellow Toastmasters, if you are given an opportunity to negotiate, I believe you know how to handle it, and in my case, a lot of prayers. Good evening.
Thank you very much to our first speaker, distinguished Toastmaster Joey Villanueva. Now we'll be calling our second speaker with her speech project to evaluate the first speaker. Let's call upon Toastmaster Maria Jasmine Consolacion.
Thank you. Tonight, I will be evaluating a great speaker, distinguished Toastmaster Joey Villanueva. I have learned a lot about how to negotiate different kind of people. It is very important for us to demand if you know that you are capable in doing your work. Our speaker for tonight has a good thing that he states us all his story about what happened in Jeddah during the pregnancy of his wife and his decision to bring his family here in Jeddah. To be one here, to become one here in Jeddah. If you may allow some of my observation, I have only one suggestion. Even if we are doing here in virtual meeting, I should suggest that distinguished Toastmaster Joey Villanueva, if you should stand in front of us, because we cannot see your hands in virtual meeting. All I can say that your speech is very good and we have learned a lot of it. In conclusion, you made a great speech continue to inspire people, learn us to know how to make win-win negotiation, and to believe that God will always give us blessings when we are keep on praying in Him. And if God is with us, we have this we are all winners. And you know, God will always give us what is the best for us. That is all that I can say. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Back to me. Let's take one. Okay. To evaluate our, sorry, not to evaluate. To call upon our third speaker with his speech title, Lead by Example. Let's call upon our third speaker, Toastmaster Alimuddin Kamama.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Night. Same as the other leader, I always treasure to inspire people in my own way of leadership. In other words, I like to lead by example. To all distinguished Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters, and guests, good evening. Today, I am bringing you to my journey as a student leader in my college day. I was elected as a president of the student council in our university with 10,000 students and counting during my college day. Truly, handling a student, it's not as easy as usual. But I need to face the reality and accept the responsibility being attached on my shoulder. As a leader, I impose the democratic style of leadership. Because I know students needs the freedom of expression. During my time as a student leader, I always lead as an example. Because I know the people and the students in general needs to be inspired. From the beginning, I already reminded all the students that I am an ordinary poor student running for the president of the student council in our university. Because I want to inspire them, the student in general, that being a poor student is not an obstacle to be a great leader. Yes, I showed them that I like to lead by an example, and that's 1 point for me. When I was in my high school life, I graduated with first honorable mention and got the highest leadership award or presidential award given by former President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo. And during my college days, I was included also in my academic scholar. Yes, I want to show to them, the student in general, that being a poor student is not an obstacle to compete with anyone else. Either you are rich or a poor student. In my time as a student leader, I implemented a working student scholarship project, beneficial to the student but disturbing student of our college. I remember the hardest time I experienced in my student leader. Our college management, they want to impose the 200% increase in our regular tuition fee, which is 15 pesos to 200 pesos. The moment I received the notice from our president, I tried keeping my temper. And thinking of the student if this tuition fee increase being imposed is not an anti-student, especially the poor. During the deliberation of the tuition fee increase, I stood and opposed to the maximum level. This is too much. This is too much. You, and all of you people, do you really think that this tuition fee increase can help the 80% students in this college? I know. This tuition fee increase is for the college development. But why we suffered as a student? We are poor. 100% by coming college enrollment, many students will stop and can't continue to their study. Where is the justice? Due to my fighting spirit and determination about the tuition fee increase, I won the battle by the grace of God. The management, they not implement that idea. Winning this moment is one of my leadership award as a student leader. Because I do believe that a leader is someone who demonstrates what is possible. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Ali Al-Kamama. May I call upon our timers for his timers report?
Thank you, Toastmaster of the evening. For the timers report, after delivering their all amiable speeches, I am sorry to say that the distinguished Toastmaster Joey Villanueva exceeded his time limits. He incurred 9 minutes and 52 seconds. So only 2 speakers are qualified to be voted. Toastmaster Jasmine Consolacion and Toastmaster Alimuddin Kamama. Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you very much, Mr. Timer. Truly, we have learned and listened to our great speaker. As rightly said, winners, or if you will become a winner if you will lead by example. Thank you very much once again to our speakers. Are you ready to the next segment of our program?
Yes.
Okay. Before that, I ask everyone to cast your vote for the best prepared speaker. While you're casting your votes, I will be calling our table topic master, the champion, to explain his role and to answer the question, how to live an abundant life. Without any further ado, let's call upon Toastmaster Ian Cortez.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the evening. Can everyone hear me? Please give me a thumbs up sign. Okay, thank you very much. So just give me a couple of seconds to just show the PowerPoint presentation. So my role for tonight, okay, before I move there, how to live an abundant life. For me, it's all about psychology and conditioning your mind to always look at the positive and focus on the blessings. So one will never have enough if one thinks so. So abundance is about gratefulness, abundance is about being content, and abundance is about basically living a happy life. So on to my role for tonight. I am your table topics master and I will be facilitating this session. Now, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests, did you know that in this section, our goal is to convert this picture of a scared and terrified guy to this: confident, exuding an air of being amiable and being friendly, and converting nervous energy into excitement. We would want to seem very professional and capable whenever we talk to people by establishing rapport. And 10% of a lot of people are very confident in speaking in public, while another 10% are very scared to speak in public. And the fear of speaking in public is actually called glossophobia. Now, most of us, the remaining 80%, are scared sometimes, but given some preparation, we become more confident and able to do it. Now, because of this fear, a lot of people would rather be the dead person in the coffin rather than the person giving the eulogy. I think it's fair to say this given the facts that I've shared earlier. Now, much of what we do in everyday life, almost 100% is talking impromptu or speaking off the cuff. And this is one of the benefits of mastering or perfecting table topics. Now, in order to help you, fellow Toastmasters and friends, in organizing your ideas, okay, maybe we can, so that you are able to communicate your ideas very well, you're able to win your arguments with your wives or your significant others or special someone. Be reminded that we have the timing that is to be observed in table topics. When you see the green light, that means you have reached the minimum time. You've reached 1 minute. When you see the yellow light, that means you've reached 1.5 minutes. And when you see the red light, that means you've reached the 2-minute mark. Now, there are speech patterns that you can use in order to structure your answer. I won't explain all of them. Maybe a good example to share is past, present, future. So if you want to answer a particular question, you can talk about something that happened in the past, something that's happening now, and then your dream of the future. So that's a good way for you to structure your speech. And again, there are other topics or patterns that you can choose from. Now, may I ask for volunteers to answer our table topics for tonight? Are there any volunteers? Let's have Toastmaster Angelito. Would you mind being our first volunteer for tonight? I can sense through my telepathic powers that you want to speak tonight in the table topic.
Mr. Table Topics speaker, you're okay.
Okay, so this is your question, Toastmaster Angelito. Break the rules, find your freedom, live your life. Comment on this statement. Break the rules, find your freedom, live your life. Comment on this statement. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Toastmaster Angelito Nacion.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Toastmaster of the evening. Fellow Toastmasters, when do you say that you break the rules? When do you say that you have freedom in your life? You know me, I've been delivering a lot of speeches here in Toastmasters International, and my life has been in a roller coaster ride, but I learned a lot from my mistakes. They are the best teachers so far. For me, there is no one who could teach you or replace the lessons you get from your experience. And I would say, to be honest, I personally learned the most things in the hardest way over the course of, failing and starting over and over again until I master my own formula. For me, when I say I am living in a free world, I would say that I live without fear. When I say fear, most of us, our greatest enemy is fear. Our fear, perhaps for me, for example, before when I joined Toastmasters International, my greatest fear was to be criticized, to fail into something. And then
what happened was I developed this habit that instead of thinking about being failed or to fail, I put that failure at the back of our mind. You know, we people, we are so intelligent, accept the fact that we are the highest, highest level of animals. We have the unlimited capacity to think of anything. But then again, what happened is that our capacity to generate, to develop an idea is being stopped by what? By our fear. Because at the back of our head, we think that we can't do anything and we think that we are afraid to fail. And that, that fear, fear idea in our head gives us another option to say, stay in your comfort zone. Or in a fancier word, you say, don't do anything and stay where you are and nothing will ever happen to you. Fellow Toastmasters, it's never too late to start or to accept the fact that we can be free from anything. Let's say, for example, for our fear, it only takes one plan and one action at a time, coupled with faith and determination to succeed whatever endeavor that we have in our lives. We may fall, that's given. We may fall off and get disrupted most of the time, but it's all part of the learning process, isn't it? So what I would advise is you have to focus focus on the things that you can instead of focusing on the things that you can't, because the moment that you focus on the things that you can't, you get distorted. Your plans will be compromised. But then again, for as long as you are alive, you are given the infinite chances to start again and again and again. And when you overcome your fear, be an instrument also to others, just like what we are doing here in Toastmasters International. We share stories because we wanted others to learn from our own stories. And when you overcome that fear, what happened is that you will appreciate everything that is being offered right in front of you. And there is no way that you can achieve a better, bigger, and brighter life but to free yourself from worries. Over to you, Mr. Toastmaster, Mr. Table Topics of the evening.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Angelito, for inspiring us to move on from our fears and failures to be better each time and live our lives inspiring others. Thank you very much. Very wonderful message. Now let's move on to our second table topic speaker. May I invite Toastmaster Maui? Are you there, Toastmaster Maui?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, great. Toastmaster Maui, your topic is, are humans ever really free? Are humans ever really free? Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Toastmaster Maui, our speaker.
Sure, humans are ever really free. Since we are out from this world, God has given us all the things that we have to do, everything that we could do to improve ourselves, to improve our life. And this freedom is it's a gift from God. It's a gift to everybody that is created by God. But it depends on how we will use this freedom in order to be useful in the society. This freedom has also its limitations. Why I say like that? It's because if we are using our freedom in a manner that it is not good to our society, especially to our fellow men, it's not useful to our lives. But if we will use it in a proper way, sure, being human is being free, doing things that are good to everybody, doing things that is good for yourself, doing things that is good for the future of our future generations. Freedom is it's a gift, as I said a while ago. It's because you can use it to do the good things for everybody, to do the good things for the future of everyone in this world. And it is a means that we could do to provide everything that we need in our lives as long as we are living in this world. And we can use also to do the things that we wanted in life. as long as we are living in this world, we can make it as a worthy thing to help ourselves, to help others, and to help the whole world. And that's it. Back to you,
Thank you
Toastmaster.
very much, Toastmaster Maui. Very well done indeed. Thank you for reminding us that freedom is from God and that we should know how to use it well in order to help others and be good and make this world a better place. So thank you again, Toastmaster Maui.
Thank you so
Now
much.
let's move on to our third speaker. Maybe invite Toastmaster Julius. Are you there, Toastmaster Julius? Scared to indulge us in the table topics? Okay, maybe, all right, maybe we can try others. For now, we'll come back to Toastmaster Julius. Maybe have Toastmaster Joanna. Oh, okay. All right, okay, while we wait for Toastmaster Julius, may we have DTM Asjad, one of our guests.
Yes, Toastmaster Ian, I'm with you.
Yes, great. Thank you very much. Your question is? Freedom is nothing but a chance to be better. This is a quote from Albert Camus. Again, freedom is nothing but a chance to be better. This is a quote from Albert Camus. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome distinguished Toastmaster Asjad, our guest. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Table Topics Master. When we say freedom, what comes in our mind? Well, freedom from work, freedom from responsibilities, but hopefully not freedom from Toastmasters. Mr. Table Topics Master, fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests, good evening. I totally agree that freedom is nothing but a chance to be better. The reason being, when we say that freedom gives us a chance to be better, it basically gives us an opportunity to learn from our mistakes, an opportunity to learn from our lessons, from our previous leadership positions. Think of freedom as your personal teacher, or your private tutor, or your mentor, where just because you have failed in your first trial, and if you wish to succeed again, you need to keep trying and trying again and again. And like everybody says, learning never stops, and so doesn't freedom. So therefore, freedom gives us a chance to change. Over to you, Mr. Table Topics Master.
Thank you very much, distinguished Toastmaster Asjad, reminding us that freedom actually is a huge power that we can always maximize to be better. Thank you for that message. Now I think we can call upon the other guest, Toastmaster Julius. Are you able to join us now? Can you please unmute yourself? Toastmaster Julius? Okay, I think he has some audio issues. Mr. Timer, do we still have time for more speakers or we can end the session now?
Yeah, we still have time. We can have one more speaker.
Okay. May I open the floor for volunteers for our last slot? Toastmaster Sam. Okay, thank you very much for volunteering. This is your topic. You were given the power to magically change something. Would you rather change the world or change something yourself? Or change in yourself? The question is, you were given the power to magically change something. Would you rather change the world or would you rather change something in yourself? Toastmaster Sam.
Okay. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. If I were given the power to magically change something, I would rather change myself. Because first of all, that a change must start within yourselves. Now, the world is it's a wild, it's a wild world. Every one of us interact with different beliefs, colors, traditions, and we need to start it within yourself. Now, how to start within yourself? First is to believe in yourself. During this, your first table topic session, you started with the word, the fear of public speaking, or that is so-called glossophobia. Now, you have to be a good speaker like this. You have first to believe in yourself. You have to get rid of that glossophobia in you. Now, this glossophobia is attributed to a lot of phobias. We have the fear to be criticized. So you must have to overcome this fear of getting criticized, or that is so-called the scopophobia. So you must have to get rid of scopophobia. And another thing is you have the fear of failure. Now, because of that, you are afraid to speak out. Now, you have also to get rid of that fear of failure. And technically, that is called aticophobia. Now, you have to face all your fears. You have to believe in yourself first. And then if you believe in yourself, you have accomplished yourself to that. I mean, you have established yourself. Go out and influence the other people around you. You cannot change your environment or people around you unless yourself is convincing enough that you already have grown up. Because if they feel that you still have that weakness in something, they will not believe in you. There's no magic in that. It all lies within yourselves. So believe on yourself, believe on what you can do, go out of your comfort zone, and influence others. So that's all, fellow Toastmasters, and I am Toastmaster Sam Asim. Good evening to all of you. And of course, I would like to remind this, that when you believe in yourself, when you can change the world, it may start from not an amiable surrounding, but it will turn out to be surrounding that believes in you. Thank you for that.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Sam, for those wonderful words. So I'm afraid this is the end of our table topic session. Let's all virtually give a round of applause to all our 4 speakers for this evening. And I leave you with a quote from Mahatma Gandhi saying that we should be the change we want to see in the world. Thank you very much. And back to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you very much, our champion Toastmaster Ian Cortez. Indeed, it was a great table topic session, and we learned a lot of things. May I request everybody to cast our votes to for our 4 speakers. First, Toastmaster Angelito, Toastmaster Maui, Toastmaster Ajad, and Toastmaster Sam. But before you cast your vote, may I call our timer for his timer's report.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the evening. I am sorry to announce that only 2 table topic speakers are qualified to be voted. They are Toastmaster Maui and Toastmaster Asjad. Both Toastmaster Angelito and Toastmaster Sam Asim have exceeded their time limits. Back to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Now you can cast your vote for Toastmaster Maui and Toastmaster Asjad. You can send your private message to our Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Danny Avenes. Are you ready for the next segment? I could say one of the most important segments why we are in Toastmaster. I called it the backbone in Toastmastering life, what we are doing right now, which is the evaluation segment. To lead us for this evaluation segment, may I call once again our general evaluator, Toastmaster Joanna de la Peña Nilo.
Yeah, thank you very much, Toastmaster of the evening. Now we are done with the evaluation round, and we shall move on the report. I have a few comments on the meeting as a whole. Please monitor for the timer. Please monitor my time between 2 and 3 minutes. Our the meeting will start at 8:15 p.m. and the guest is
Excuse me,
warm
Toastmaster.
welcome. Yes.
First, you will be calling the evaluators to evaluate the speakers.
Sorry.
No problem. By doing.
So I need to call the evaluator for the first evaluator to evaluate the first speaker. I'm
Okay. No problem.
Go ahead.
The first evaluator that you're going to call is Toastmaster Danny Abenes. Call him once again to evaluate the first speaker.
I will call the first evaluator, Toastmaster Danny Avenis, to give the evaluate for the first speaker.
Tonight, I will evaluate distinguished Toastmasters, Toastmaster Joey Villanueva, winner takes all. Have you noticed that the first words of distinguished Toastmaster Joey was a question? Have you entered into negotiation? It's a very powerful question. And I expect what's next. And then after the question, his experience and his work. First, he worked here in Albaha, and then after as a single, and then after several months, there was happened to his work and his family, and of course, experience. He did a lot of experience in negotiation. It's very tough situation in his part in his family, because for the next 3 years, not only him or his wife affected, also his whole family. So it's very, very exciting situation when you deal with your experience and also your story. That's very good. The intensity of his speech is quite compelling. Of course, as I said, he is a public speaker. No question about that. I noticed that though he is a public speaker, his gesture quite some very, what we call here, it's very comfortable. So I believe that gesture give more emphasis on your speech, because when you are a public speaker, you have to do all with words and gestures, and of course also the eye contact. Maybe we are in the virtual, so I cannot visualize, or my eyes is only blurred, so I cannot see his eye contact. In summation, distinguished Toastmaster Joey have a clarity on his speech from the beginning to the body and the conclusion. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you very much for Toastmaster for the first evaluator. May I call the second evaluator, Toastmaster Sam Asim, to evaluate the second speaker. Can I call also the
Toastmaster
tally
Sam. Toastmaster Sam, you are the second evaluator now. Please unmute your mic.
Okay, so okay, good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters. A while ago, I was listening to the speech of Toastmaster Jasmine, and I was thinking that she was evaluating the speech of Sir Joey Villanueva. I'm not sure of that, but am I right? Yes. Okay.
Yes.
So all I can say is that I love your evaluation, Toastmaster Jasmine, because you did it in a very relaxed manner. You know, you did it in a very confident way. It's not you're not stuttering. It's the delivery is smooth and direct. You pointed out about suggestion of like standing while doing a speech. Well, I do understand to the side of our speaker because we are what is that, sharing a very small screen while talking. So sometimes it's better to have this half body being what is that being seen in the screen. So yes, I liked the way your delivery, that confidence. You have imparted everything that is very impressive. And yes, I think, well, you have a very good husband who is a very good speaker. You are also a very good speaker. Your children, your daughters, your sons are also very good speakers. You are in the family of good speakers. So what do I expect? The same thing, all qualities like that. So that's all, and back to you, Toastmasters. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Sam. May I call the third evaluator, Toastmaster Angelito Nacion, to evaluate our speaker, Ms. Toastmaster Ali. Right.
Yes. Thank you very much, Mr. General Evaluator. I am so thankful to be given the opportunity to evaluate one of our potential, great speakers here at KaMFi Toastmasters International, Toastmaster Ali. Toastmaster Ali, from the very first time I met you, I always think that there's something in you. And for me, there is no other way we can measure how effective a leader is but his influence. President of the SC during his college years, leadership awards during his high school days, academic scholar during his college years. I say that you, Toastmaster Ali, is truly a leader by example. May we give him a big round of applause. Fellow Toastmasters, I always believe that being able to communicate well is a must for a good leader. And I say that Toastmaster Ali possess those qualities of a good leader. Number one, strong convictions. Did you ever notice when he said, "This is too much. This is too much. You people, don't you ever think about this?" Did you feel the emotion in there? Did you feel the conviction in there? Toastmaster Ali, you knew how to play with your voice, and you know when to rise and soften your voice. And that is one strength of a good leader. You know how to communicate well with your audience. The second one is confidence. We know for the fact that people will not follow us unless they see the strength in us. Am I right? And Toastmaster Ali, there's no doubt that you have the confidence, as I'm seeing you everywhere in YouTube and some other gatherings here in Jeddah. There is only two suggestions that I may add to your future speeches so that we can improve more. One is the long pauses. You said something like, I impose the democratic style, and then there is a long pauses in there, and then you say it of leadership. It could have been better if you say, I impose the democratic style of leadership. And then again, you said, I propose a scholarship, and then there's a long pauses in there, beneficial to poor students. So try to omit those long pauses. Another thing is, I think you also observe that there is somehow at the middle of his speech, you kind of like also expecting something to happen. Your conclusion is a bit abrupt. What I remember was like, you're at the point where you're discussing something about you oppose a proposal to increase the tuition fees, and then all of a sudden you went to like 2 sentences and then you end up your speech. I would suggest that next time you follow the very simple rule of doing the structure of a speech. What is that rule? Our teacher back in our high school days tells us something, or told us something about tell something what you're gonna tell them, and tell them what you've told them. You follow that simple rule, and for sure you will be able to make a wonderful speech next time. Over to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Angelito Nacion, for the evaluating for the third speaker.
Timer.
Okay, can I call the Mr. Timer to give the report?
Thank you very much, Madam Toastmaster Joanna. I am very happy and honored to say that all our amiable evaluators are all qualified to be voted. Toastmaster Danny, Toastmaster Sam, and Toastmaster Angelito. Back to you, Toastmaster Joanna.
Okay, now we need to start for your voting for our speaker. Now I will give my whole report.
You'll call first the counter and the grammarian.
Sorry, first I want to call the tag team, the timer. I already called. Please, I will call the counter.
Counter, correct.
Counter to give the report. Sorry. May I call the A counter?
Toastmaster Maui.
Toastmaster Maui.
For the counter, there were a lot of Toastmasters who use those unnecessary words, but tonight, our Tarzan of the day or Tarzan of the night of this meeting, it's no other than the same as usual, Mr. Ali. He got 7 As during the time that he was the Joker of the night, and some of the next of is Mr. Sam. He is also the but the most used was Mr. Ali. He was Tarzan of the night. Thank you so much. Back to you, Toastmaster of the night.
Thank you very much, Madam Toastmaster Counter. May I call Toastmaster Grammarian for their respective report?
Madam General Evaluator.
Yes.
Good evening once again. I would like to commend and congratulate those Toastmasters who have used the word for tonight, amiable. We are distinguished Toastmaster Glenn, distinguished Toastmaster Joey, Toastmaster Benifer, and Toastmaster Ian. And the one who used it most is distinguished Toastmaster Glenn. Thank you very much. I would like to also to commend those powerful phrases and statements that I heard, most of them like lead by example, winner takes all, abundance of prayers, passion earns into profit, speaking of the calf, telepathic power, and the roller coaster ride. Now, I also like those two-word comparisons, like freedom and control, losing and winning, meaning and money. There are also words that we usually do not hear on a day-to-day conversation, like congruent, slumber, exuding, and glossophobia. So I encourage each and every one of us that after this meeting, we go back to Google and look for the simple meaning of these words so it could add in our vocabulary in everyday's meeting and everyday's conversation with our colleagues and our COTOS masters. Now, I would like to recommend that for me, the following statements or phrases are considered cliche, inappropriate, and redundant. So in Toastmasters, we recommend that we should not use the following phrases like without further ado, back to you, to explain my role for tonight, over to you, like that, and thank you. Remember, in Toastmaster, it should have been the audience who should say thank you to us. So rather than saying thank you for your introduction, we can go straight. Mr. Toastmaster of the night, our word for tonight is, rather than Toastmaster already told us that to explain her role as grammarian, and then again, the grammarian will say, I would like to explain my role. So for me, that's already a redundancy. Why not go straight to the role that are given to you? Like when you say back to you, rather than saying back to you, you go straight by addressing Madam General Evaluator, Mr. Toastmaster, Mr. Table Toastmaster, when you are opening or closing your statement. It is just like we are already also practicing when we are a contestant in any speech categories. And now the word, without further ado, these are for me, least but not the least, this is as if that we are just putting it as a filler words because we don't know the role player, or we could not think of a word that we can define the next role players. And then if you notice, the reason why sometimes we are having grammatical lapses, that we usually use long sentences that comprise of dependent and independent clauses. So remember, one of the suggestions when we are talking and when we are delivering a speech, we have to use a simple, short sentences that the audience can easily follow. Other than that, I believe we are not really a perfect in using the English grammar, the use of the linking verbs, the proposition. These are something that we can develop as we go along the way, and for as long as we keep on speaking and we keep on doing it every day, then we could be able to improve our grammatical lapses. With that, I now conclude my grammarian report, and Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Ms. Ryan, for your respected report. Finally, I shall give as a general evaluator, I will give my overall evaluation of the overall in the meeting. Shall I call the timer or no need? No need?
No need, Madam General Evaluator.
Okay, for the timing, the meeting will start 8:15 in the, and also the guests, they are welcome this one. And they also introduced the theme of the night. And there is some changings in the agenda, and they announced earlier. So for those who are members are already, they got the role. Thank you for that one. And each role player, everyone, I think they explain the role very well, and they also everyone is also defined the abundance of life, and the introduction is very informative. We have some technical issue, I think, but not much. Only for some members are the mic is not loud. Some also the participant is not recognized that the mic is unmute. Our sergeant at arms, everything they prepare in advance. Also, they are the audience will sing. The members also sing the Philippine anthem, and the president also have an opening remark. They manage the time, and also they give us the inspire message and motivation to our members, also to our guests. Toastmaster of the day, they also are very entertaining. They give the theme, they explain very well, and they also the benefits of the guests, for the benefits of the guests. And for the keep timer, they explain very well the importance of timing in the public speaking, and the comments is very clear. And also for the speech evaluator, I have comments. I think each evaluator, they are evaluate, and what do you think this one? They give the recommendation and comment to each of them. And they also, the speech evaluator unfit to encourage our speaker how to, how to give to more, I don't know how to speak this one, to more powerful, or to more effective as become a public speaker. And for the table topic master, the topic is very understand, and the topic is very fun and very entertaining. Although I did not recognize that they are called me because I'm busy with my report. I'm sorry for that one. Since this is my second time to become a general evaluator, but I'm just confusing what I'm doing. And they also explain the purpose of the table topic. They explain very well, and the setup, I like the setup also. And also all the members, I think they go for the participant and very challenged the topic. And for the grammarian, she talked about the importance of the grammar in the public speaking, and the comments very clear and very audible. And also the comment of the word of the day, they also give. For the I countered, he talked about the importance of avoiding the filler words in the public speaking, and also the comments is very clear. And also for as a general evaluator, I think everyone is enjoy this meeting, and for the evaluator, don't forget that I think we need to construct our feedback to the speaker to improve, or to be, to be confident. And that's all. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day. I thought Toastmaster of the night, sorry.
No problem. Thank you very much to our general evaluator for leading the evaluation segment of our Toastmasters meeting for tonight. May I call now the Sergeant at Arms as our ballot counter, Toastmaster Danilo Abenes.
Call also the President and the VP Education.
Okay, sorry. I forgot to call. I may call also our President, Distinguished Toastmaster Joey Villanueva, and Distinguished Toastmaster Glenn Sibag to award the winners. Toastmaster Danny Abenes. There.
You are on mute, Toastmaster Danny. Please unmute.
Distinguished our President, do we have already this certificate?
Wait, I'm just finishing them.
Okay, while we are waiting.
Yes.
While we're waiting.
While we are waiting, we will wait.
Yes.
While we are waiting, we will wait.
While we are waiting, you can say your last word, Toastmaster of the evening.
Like that. Actually, while we are waiting, thank you very much for your great answers to the question how to live an abundant life. Truly, I heard a lot of things to have an abundant life. I heard no worries, good health. We need to be thankful, grateful. We need to be contented. We need to spend time wisely and productively. But before I end, I would like to leave these 5 things with you. I truly believe that these 5 things will help us to live an abundant life. First is, I truly believe that we need to use the gifts to help others, our own gifts. If you're good in public speaking, use that gift to improve the lives of others. Second, I truly believe to have an abundant life, we need to find someone to help us to have an abundant life. We need to find a mentor. And the other third thing is we need to find a community like of a like-minded people who will support us. Like what we are doing in Toastmasters. We are part of Toastmasters. Who really support us to become a better person, a better speaker. And the other thing, we need to continue and never stop learning. This is what we are doing right now, even the situation, what we are having right now. And the last thing, to be abundant life, we need to be consistent. We need to be faithful to our dreams. We need to take daily actions towards to achieve our goals. And truly, once again, I'm your Toastmaster of the evening. Salam alaikum and good evening. Back to our ballot counter and awards master, Toastmaster Danny Abenes.
Thank you very much. We're ready now. So
Yes. Table topic speaker Toastmaster Maui Garcia. Best table topic speaker Maui Garcia.
okay, can we close your camera first, and then we will just open the
Thank you so
camera
much.
of Toastmaster Maui, so that at least we can get her picture with the certificate. Okay, we'll take the picture now. Hold on. Hold on. There you are.
Thank you.
Best prepared speaker goes to Toastmaster Alimuddin.
Okay, our table speaker, our best speaker, Alimuddin. Where is his picture? Okay, we'll take your picture.
And the best evaluator goes to Toastmaster Angelito Nacion.
And the next speaker is evaluator. The evaluator. There you are. Okay. Ready? 1, 2, smile. Thank you very much. There you are. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, on all your cameras. We're going to take your pictures.
Si Dani, si Julius. Julius.
Julius, open your camera. We'll take your picture before we are going to close.
Julius.
One more. Julius, can you open your camera, please?
Let's see Tito Glenn.
Where's Tito Glenn?
Tito Glenn.
Tito Glenn missing. Okay, so we're going to take your picture now. We're just waiting for TM Glenn. Ready? 1, 2, 3. There you are. Kuhanin na lang natin ng picture sila mamaya. Okay, so what's that? Where is our Toastmaster? Finished now, Mr. Toastmaster? You have already done your closing?
Yes, while waiting.
Okay.
Now,
let us give a round of applause to our Toastmaster tonight. Also to our table topics master. All of you made our day for tonight. As we always say in Toastmaster, every time that we do our meeting, we learn. And as we learn, we're going to continue to develop ourselves. We're going to change for the better. We will always be a better version of ourselves yesterday. So we will continue to do it. Of course, we are going to end now our term in 2 weeks' time. We're going to do that. And I believe we have a very good news for tonight. And I wanted to take also the picture of our, what is one? Of our achiever again for tonight. Let us give a round of applause to our Pathways Level 1 certificate given to our Toastmaster Angelito Nacion. Certificate of completion for Pathways Level 1 Innovative Plan. Okay, so can we get another picture with our Toastmaster? There you are. I will just take your picture now. Oh, hold on, I wanted it to be a big certificate. There you are. Thank you very much for contributing also to our decision point, Toastmaster and Angelito. And I believe that we will be going with the second level of pathways. Now, for Toastmaster Angelito, I wanted you to log in to your Toastmasters pathways, and let us give our Toastmaster, the one who finished the level 1 certification today, your badge of gift as a badge as a gift. Can we do that so that at least you will be trained how to exchange badges? So, do you know how to do to use your badges in your pathways? From your pathways, you're going to log into your Toastmasters account, and then you type the name of Toastmaster Angelito, and then send him badges. Can we do that? Next meeting, I will request Toastmaster Angelito to show us how many badges he received for this night's meeting.
Noted, President. Mr.
Okay,
President.
thank you very much. And is there any other things that you wanted to discuss before we're going to adjourn our meeting? Are we going to have our meeting next Thursday? We need the speech of Toastmaster Jasmine, so that she will also finish the complete level 1 for your project. You will get your certificate before we're going to end our term. That is research or project? Research project. So what do you think? How to prepare Utu?
Yes.
IMG, sir, IMG.
Huh? That's
IMG.
research project. So
She will research IMG.
yeah, research IMG. So that at least we can complete. We need only one speech from you, and then we will finish the project. If we are going to have that, then we can report for another TCP point, and then we will be a select distinguished club for this year. And since we're going to be a distinguished club this year, then next year, under the presidency of Toastmaster Ben, we're going to be a President's Distinguished Club. Yes. How do you like that? So next meeting we will be in back to Filipino language, isn't it?
Yes, Mr. President.
Yes. And before we're going to leave, I wanted to hear something from our guest, Julius. Julius, can you tell us something? And if you could not, you're still around, or you are not anymore around, you are square. Yeah.
He said, excuse me, baka po tinawag.
Yes, okay, we're going to hear from him next meeting. Is there any other suggestion, or you wanted to say something before we're going to adjourn this meeting? We're going to have our meeting next Tuesday, so that at least we can get the Toastmaster Jasmine last speech for the project number 3 under level 1. This is the final project. It's only research.
Sorry, sorry, Didi Joey. Can I also deliver a speech next week?
Yes, please.
Yes, of course, of course.
Please, so we will have 2 speakers now. We have Toastmaster Jasmine and Toastmaster Ayan. So some more wanted to deliver a speech next Tuesday.
I think Toastmaster Angelito.
Toastmaster Angelito, you want, so that you will start with your project number 2.
I think if
level 2, I should say.
If there is someone who would like to deliver a speech, I would give the opportunity for others. But if
okay, we will give you the opportunity.
What about Toastmaster Maui? Maybe she wanted to deliver a speech.
Yes.
Okay, so what's that? Let us talk about it for this week, and we will try to finalize it next week, so that at least we're going to end our year strong. Okay, so thank you very much. If there is no other thing that you wanted to discuss, then we will adjourn this meeting. Is there anything? Toastmaster Ben? No?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Bye.
Okay, so thank you very much. Good night. And I now adjourn this meeting. Thank you very much.
Bye.
We'll see you again.
God bless, Paul.
God bless everyone. Keep safe.
Everybody, and we will see you next Thursday.
Let us bring more Filipinos sa ating club.
We'll try.
Yes, thank you. Let us
invite more next meeting.
Yeah, let us strengthen the Filipinos in Toastmasters. We started Toastmasters here, 1995, so we have to, before we go back to the Philippines, we have to be strong again.
We started Toastmasters, so we will end it.
You are the alpha and omega.
Yes, wag naman. We wanted to leave a very good legacy once we go back.
True.
Thank you po.
Thank
Bye.
you.
bless
Good
everyone.
evening.
Night. Keep
Good
safe, everyone.
evening. Keep
evening.
safe po.
God bless.
God bless everyone. Congratulations po sa lahat.